I don't know who needs to hear this, but you're allowed to tell people no. You don't have to agree to do things just to make other people happy. If it's not something that you want to do, the answer is no. You are allowed to have a backbone. You're allowed to stand up for yourself. You're allowed to cut people off who use you and abuse you and not feel guilty about it. You're allowed to put yourself first, and you should have boundaries. If you're new to my channel, hello, my name is Jasmine, and in this video I want to talk to you about things that I did to overcome my people pleasing. So I used to be a people pleaser. I needed external validation, especially in my 20s. I'm 35. I needed external validation. I needed friends. I needed people to approve of the decisions that I made. I needed people to agree with me. I just needed approval, validation. I was very codependent. And I think a lot of that just came from just being insecure with myself and not being able to sit with myself. And so because I needed that external validation, because I cared about what people thought of me, I would people please. So if someone asked me to do something, even if it wasn't really something I wanted to do, I would say yes to keep the peace. I didn't want people to be mad at me. I didn't want people to be upset with me. I didn't want people to talk about me. And one thing I learned on my glow up journey is when you agree to do things for other people and you're only doing it to keep the peace, I want you to realize you're only keeping the peace for them. You're not keeping the peace for you. Because if you were keeping the peace for you, you would stand up for yourself. If it's not something that you genuinely want to do, then you have no business doing it. People are going to talk regardless. People are going to find something to be angry at you for regardless. So being the yes man, being the person that's always doing for others, it's not getting you anywhere. It is draining you. It is draining your energy. It's draining your resources, and it's draining you of your peace. You're going to have to get to a point where you put your foot down and you say to yourself, you know what, if this isn't something I want to do, then I'm just not going to do it. I used to always be the person that would give people rides, even though they wouldn't reciprocate and give me rides if I needed it. I used to be the person that would always loan people money. I used to be people's punching bag, especially when I was dating. I would allow people to, just use me as their emotional support. So if they had a bad day, they're going to make sure I have a bad day, right? I used to allow people to talk down on me and I wouldn't check them, right? That used to be me. And I was miserable. I was so miserable, you guys. I've had so much built up resentment because I'm like, why are they treating me like this? Like, I'm a good person. Why is someone treating me like this? I don't deserve to be treated like this. But again, I was doing that to myself because if I had started telling people no, I wouldn't have resentment. If I started putting myself first, there wouldn't be resentment. If I started pouring into myself, I wouldn't be feeling resentful if someone's not reciprocating that back to me. You have got to have a backbone. You have got to stop letting people walk all over you. And a lot of times we do it, we're being manipulative. See, I know you don't want to think this. I'm going to challenge you. But a lot of times, see, we want people to see us as a good person, right? Instead of us just knowing deep down inside that we are good enough and that we are good people, we want to control the narrative. And we want other people to see that about us too. And so what we'll do is we'll be the yes man or the yes woman. We'll be the people pleaser because we want to prove to other people that we are good, that we're kind, that we're deserving of friendship. But that's manipulative because all you're trying to do is convince someone of that. That's all you're trying to do. But people who are for you, you don't have to convince them that you're a good person. They'll see it through your actions when you do show up, right? You don't have to control the narrative. That's what you're doing. You're trying to control how people view you, but it always backfires. It always backfires, and all you end up doing is attracting users. And that's just human nature. If someone's consistently saying yes to something, why would you not be the person that they go to? Like, come on. I grew up with my mom and my grandma. I knew who I could ask for things, and I knew who was going to give me a hard time. My grandma was the disciplinary. I knew that I was not always guaranteed a yes with her. So I would tread lightly when I wanted to ask her for something, right? Because she gonna tell me what's what. My mom, on the other hand, she was the one who spoiled me. So anything I wanted, she would pretty much say yes, right? So I knew that 9 times out of 10, if I asked my mom to do something, even if she didn't really want to do it, she would say yes, because she was just that type of parent. People know what they're doing. They know who to ask. And they're asking you because you're always saying yes. It's not because you're their best friend. They're asking you because you're always the person that says yes. So they know more than likely if they need some money, they can ask you and you're going to give it to them, even though they didn't pay you back all the other times. But you're doing that to yourself. And as you keep doing it, you get more and more irritated because you know it's not being reciprocated. It's not really something that you want to do, but because you want to be seen as this good person, you want to be manipulative, you want to control the narrative, you say yes, even though it's draining you on the inside, even though it is frustrating you on the inside, even though it is making you anxious on the inside. And notice when you're doing all this people pleasing, you're not getting anything done for you. I didn't start becoming successful until I stopped doing for other people. I would never have time to make all the content that I make and to be as productive as I am if I was always giving people rides, if I was always giving people money, if I was always answering the phone when someone called me to talk to me about their problems. I wouldn't be able to get anything done. I had to start putting my foot down. I had to start putting myself first. And this is what I tell you. You have to put yourself first. Ladies, you get one life. You don't get 10. So many people act as if they get life after life after life, and you don't. It's delusional thinking. Delusion is a hell of a drug. And so many people are delusional because what you do is you give all of your energy, you give all of your time, you give all of your resources to all these other people instead of just giving it to yourself. But I don't have to convince you that it's not getting you anywhere. You can see it for yourself. You're not getting everything done that you want to get done because you're always doing for others. You're not reaching the goals that you have for yourself because you're so focused on doing for others. And until you start to prioritize yourself, it will always be that way. You cannot have both. One thing that I need you to realize is in order to get something, you are going to have to give something up. In order for you to get the business that you've always wanted, you're going to have to give up people pleasing if that's what you're struggling with. Because you're not going to be able to pour into your business if you're pouring into other people, especially if these people are not pouring back into you. They are draining you, and they've been draining you for years. But because you want to be a people pleaser, you don't cut the cord. You keep doing and doing and doing. And as a result of doing and doing and doing, you're getting drained and drained and drained. Now you're miserable. Now you're sad. Now you're depressed. Now you're insecure. And what is that doing for you? Nothing. It's not doing anything. In order to be selfless, you're going to have to be selfish. And mind you, when I'm talking about these type of people, I'm specifically talking about people who are grown, able-bodied adults who can do for themselves. I'm not talking about children. I'm not talking about the disabled. I'm talking about grown, able-bodied adults who can do for themselves. And something else, too, that I know I've mentioned in another video, we attract what we are. And I know that may be hard to hear because you may not see yourself as the person who is always trying to take from you, because maybe you are a giver. But you attract what you are. So both of y'all are codependent as hell. You need friends. They need your money. You need a relationship. They need an emotional punching bag. You're codependent as hell. Both of y'all are codependent. That's why y'all attracted each other. Because someone who didn't need others, they're not going to tolerate that. And I know that now because that's how I live my life. I don't want people leeching onto me. And the minute I start to detect, I'm out. I'm not trying to stick around and see and give people benefit of the doubt. I am out the door. I'm gone. But you, because you need validation, because you need people to see you as such a good person, you're gonna try to prove yourself. You're going to try to prove that you're worthy of a friendship. You don't have to perform. You don't have to prove anything. The people who are for you, they're for you. You don't have to do all that. And people who love and respect you, when you start telling people no, if you tell them no, they might get irritated, sure, because you've always been their go-to person, but they still love you. They're not going to call you out your name. They're not going to disrespect you. But the people who are using you and they're only there for your benefits, those will be the people who will curse you out, call you names, and then you'll never hear from them again. But they just did you a favor, because why do you want those type of people in your life in the first place? Ask yourself that. See, a lot of times we always want to look at other people and what they're doing to us, but ask yourself, why do you tolerate it? What kind of woman are you to tolerate someone who's always using you? Ask yourself. What kind of woman are you to tolerate someone who you keep loaning money to and they don't even have the decency to pay you back? What kind of woman are you to allow someone to call you out your name and you sit there and take it? Are we serious right now? Okay. Why do you think that's okay? Why do you think that you're not worthy of better? That people pleasing has got to stop. It is draining you. It is stealing the life from you that you've always wanted. You'll never get the financial freedom when you keep giving out your money to other people. You'll never get the peace when you keep surrounding yourself with people who are stressing you out. You'll never get the happiness when you continue to stay in environments that depress you. It's never going to happen. You're going to have to change that. You're going to have to put your foot down. You're going to have to start setting some boundaries and having some standards. You're going to have to start respecting yourself. Because if you don't, you're going to keep getting the results you've been getting. Your life will not change until you change. That's why I keep telling you guys in every video. What are we doing, like 2 videos a day now? 3 videos a day now? I say this in every video. I feel like a broken record. Life will not change until you change. If you are tired of people walking all over you, then you have to change. You can't change them. You cannot change other people, but you can change you. And you can change you by stop tolerating it. Stop people pleasing. And the more you do for people, the less they respect you anyways. So why do you keep doing? Why do you want to be in friendships where you're always doing for others, but the minute you need something, they're nowhere to be found? They're not answering the phone. They're not texting you back. Why do you want those friendships for your life? When you think about your life and your future, what kind of friendships do you want to be a part of? What kind of friend circles do you want? Because if the friends you have in your life don't match that, then why are they still your friends? When you think about your life and your future husband, if you're not married yet, what kind of husband do you want? How would he treat you? How would he talk to you? If the man you're with today isn't doing those things, why are you still with him? If he calls you out your name, if he yells at you, why are you still there? Because I'm telling you, what one person won't do, someone else will. The friendships that you have, if they're not reciprocating the love and the energy back to you, I promise you there's a group of women out there who will. But you'll never find those women. You'll never find that relationship if you keep holding on to people who aren't doing anything for you. It starts with you. Stop people pleasing. If it's not something you want to do, the answer is no. Deep down inside, you know what you want to do. You know this. I think as women, we all have intuition. You can feel it. You can feel that something's off. You're not slow. You know it's not being reciprocated. You know this. You try to convince yourself that you're not seeing what you're seeing, but you really are seeing what you're seeing. This what's really going on. They really are using you. They really are disrespecting you. You see it clear as day. You feel it. You can feel when the energy's off. You're not dumb. It's like we never want to give ourselves credit where credit is due. You are smarter than than you give yourself credit for. You know those people that you are always doing for are not reciprocating it back. You can feel it deep down inside. Your body will always tell you what you need to know. You just don't listen. And then you want to gaslight yourself and tell yourself you're overthinking. No, you're not. Cut those people off. Stop people pleasing. Stop being the yes man or the yes woman. Tell people no and stand on it. If they curse you out, if they call you about your name, block. There's a block button for a reason. It starts with you. It really does. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I can't wait to read what you guys have to say. Also, you guys, make sure you join the Patreon. The link is down below in the description. Subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.